Okay, so we discussed regarding the various component of fire protection system. We discussed regarding the suctional control, suctional valve, discharge line, bypass line, maintenance pump, the sensing lines, and various components of the fire protection system. Now we are moving on to the performance test or the testing devices. We know our fire protection system need to be tested by time to time, weekly, monthly, yearly based to check the actual performance of the fire pumps at this moment compared with the soft test we get from the factory while purchasing the pumps or while doing the acceptance testing at the site adjusted by some hands. So NFPA required normally the pump performance test, right? So those performance tests we have to do with the flow devices. Might be we can use the test header as well. NFPA we have three arrangements, right? We might need test header. We can install the flow meters, the one we can see at this end, right? Or we can use the closed loop metering device, the one I discussed. Yes. Now this closed loop metering device, we can also you can install this one in the bypass line. So if you have bypass line, we can use this device into the closed loop metering device. So we have three options, right? Closed loop metering device, the test header, and the flow meters. Let's start from the test sensor, which is the outside into our campus, because this is the most common we can see at most places in a fire protection system. So we have normally 2.5 inch test header, right? So these are 2.5 inch and evenly listed. You can see that one, the evenly listed, and it might be 2, it might be 4, based on the size of the pump. It might be some other types of the maybe there is a test header and there is 6 number of the connection. So this connection you can find as for NFPA 20, the latest table 4.27 or something. I don't remember exactly. They will tell you that based on the capacity of the pump, what should be the size of the test header and what should be the number of test headers. So when you open this valve while your pump is running, we are discharging water to the atmosphere, right? So at that moment you have to put the pitot tube arrangement here. What is the pitot tube and all, I will share you the other videos how to use those pitot tube arrangement to measure the velocity pressure from the discharge and then calculate into the software. So this is the one of the concern for the flow testing. But again, this is not sometimes we call the environmental friendly. We have to discharge quantity of water into the atmosphere. Suppose your pump is of 3000 GP, right? And you have to run your pump for 10 minutes. So the discharge will be so much, right? It will flood the complete area, or maybe you have to note down your pressure and those ratings. Even in short duration of time, the area will be flooded. So better than we have some other options to save water, right? The saving of water is the most general talk in recent days. Why you should waste water for doing flow test? So we have a flow meter arrangement, the second one from the NFPA. Now this flow meter arrangement is the second one from the discharge side. This supply is going all the way back to the tank. You can see from here. So the idea of this one is, right, we open the valve for the testing, we measure the pressure at this location, right, and based on that we found the pressure and flow. And the line, this line is this sensor, we have a sensors, electronic sensor connected at the top. You can see at this location here it is connected with the main pipeline. So those will go directly back to the tank. So the beauty of this flow meter is better than the one I discussed in the beginning. We don't have to discharge water into the atmosphere. What we have to do, we have to install a flow meter, and the discharge line will going back to the tank. Now those lines will directly coming to the tank, and we can also measure the flow and pressure and do the pump performance test. So this is better than the one I discussed in the beginning to save the water and other kind of the problem while draining the water from the discharge. Okay, those the discharge line from this arrangement can go to the tank, or you can take it anywhere outside at some location. With this one, we don't need any kind of the pitot tube arrangement or any kind of the gauge to measure the pressure at all. So It can be come inside the suction line, or it can be you can discharge outside also. But keep in mind the discharge water coming from the pump at the full capacity, those lines should be possibly as far distance from the suction connection. Right? Here is the suction connection. So the discharge lines, the return lines should be some far away from that, because we don't want those water discharging directly nearby the suction connection and creating the turbulence. Now those turbulence will go all the way from the suction line to the impeller of the pump, and it will cause cavitation. So those cavitation is not good for the pump. It will damage the pump impeller capacity, and it's not a good practice. Now we have the last one. We call it closed loop metering device, and we have a flow meter also here, right? The meter device. So based on that, it will give us how much LPM or GPM, whatever the value we are getting in our performance test. So we have to just record this one, the value from these meters. Here we can just control this valve. We can open it fully. We can open it partially, not exactly here. We have to open here. It is partially. First open this half, and then a little bit more than that. At first opening, we will measure the 100% rating. So your pump is at 500 GPM at some pressure. We have to note that one. And further, we'll just go on and reduce the size to more volume of water will go outside. At that time, we will measure for 150% of the rating at the 65% condition. So this option, in this option, the discharge line we have to close. So now only water is coming from there, from this side pump, and then going back to this like this. This is going just like this one. It's coming from this one. Now this device going all the way back to the suction line. Again, it is recirculating. Okay, so we are not getting water to the suction line. We are not getting water back to the discharge line. We are just recirculating. So 3 things to discuss: the test header, the flow meters, and the closed loop metering device. Now there is a problem with the closed loop metering device. NFPA 20 says that after 3 years, within 3 years, we need to check that the condition of the water supply from the tank, right, to the piping all the way to the suction piping, coming at 150% of the flow at pressure more than 0 psi, right? This is one of the requirement, and we want to check the water is the suction line supplying our water at exact condition. So at that moment we need to discharge the water, and we need to check the quality of the waters, the capacity of the suction line, and if after 3 years of the installation or 3 years from the beginning performance test, our suction line is giving exactly pump supply at 150% of rated connection. Maybe there kind of some scale build up inside the piping, and there might be some foreign material that will obstruct the supply, right? Or maybe some kind of the blockage inside the pipe. We don't know that. For that one, this is not acceptable for the acceptance test of the pump for every 10 years, that we need to make sure regarding the suction supply. So this is all about the closed loop metering device. So we discussed regarding the test header, which is outside, the flow meters, and the last one is the closed loop metering device. Now weekly test we have to do with this closed loop metering device. In weekly test we have to only know about the churn pressure. When there is no flow, and we have to measure the flow pressure at 140% of the rated capacity. The annual flow test we need to measure the rated pressures, right, overload, and the churn condition. These 3 conditions we need to do for the annual. And as I explained, after 3 years we have to check the suction line supply condition for the pumps, whether our supply line is still supplying full water to the pump at 150% of the capacity of the fire pump. This is all about the water flow testing. How to do those tests with the pitot tube and all those arrangements we'll discuss in next video with our tools and the guides available at the facilities. Thank you for your guys.